Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Michelle. You've reached my channel, Farm Girl Makes Stuff. I have to start with an apology. So I did post a public video to YouTube. If you're a patron, you get any of my YouTube content a few days early. And I am in the middle of doing Vlogmas on my Patreon and doing a lot of editing, adding a lot of music. And I didn't think about that there would be copyright issues. As long as my videos are private, the music that I use through the photo editing software that I pay for doesn't matter. Once I post it public to YouTube, it's a bigger deal. So I inadvertently had some copyrighted material on there. So that had to be taken down. So I'm supposed to be working today, but I got low needed. We are very slow at work. I think I mentioned before several months ago that due to COVID and the restrictions, we are having some downsizing at work. And there's a good chunk of my department that is being outsourced to India. So far, my job, it has been affected. I used to be a 0.8, so I worked 8 shifts every 2 weeks. I now work 5, and then in January, I'll find out what is going to happen permanently with my job, or if there will be a job. So anyways, I am supposed to be working, but I'm low needed today, so I had some time to refilm this video. It'll give me the opportunity to do less editing, hopefully, and make it a little bit quicker, because it was a long, over an hour video, because you know me, I like to ramble. Today is also another amazingly big day. My son Joshua graduates from Marine Corps boot camp. So I'm actually waiting for a call from him. He should have graduated by, oh, no. He should be just wrapping up his graduation very soon. There's no leave because of COVID. So he's going to be going right over for all Marines are infantrymen. So where he will do some more training. We are hopeful that he will get a leave and be able to come home for at least 10 days or so before he ships out. And then we probably won't see him for quite a while, and we really don't know anything beyond that. And whenever I think that you're in the military, when you're a military family, I remember growing up, no news is good news. So if we don't hear from him, I guess that's a good thing. Kind of hard when you're a mom. I guess I didn't realize how it's very difficult or different from an adult perspective than when you were growing up in the military. Like, it just didn't seem like a big deal. It's different when it's your kid. But Madeline is home from college. She's been home for a week. She's actually going back today. She's an RA, which is a resident assistant, which means that she is in charge of kind of keeping an eye on other people living in the dorm. So they get a week vacation for Christmas. So hers was this past week. She goes back today, and then she'll be able to come home on Christmas Day when all the dorms close, and she'll be here until the week after Christmas. So it's just been really nice having her here. And I'm definitely going to miss her and looking forward to her coming home again. Other than that, things are going well. All the goats are bred. If I remember, I'll try and I meant to put a little bit of a video clip in my last video, and I just forgot about it. So I'll try and squeeze one in here today. It's very windy, and it's probably really loud in the barn too, but I'm sure they don't like the wind, so I'm sure they're all in there. Just a reminder, I also have 4 dogs at home, so they're quiet. I made sure they got out for a nice run before starting my video, so hopefully they will stay that way and nobody will pull up the driveway. But what I'm going to show you today is I just have all my Christmas stuff that I've pulled out, and I thought I would just do a little parade of all my Christmas finishes. So if you have already watched the previous video, it's all the same finishes, and it's a huge pile. So it's frame pieces, smalls, and some other things. So let's just get started on it. I kind of don't even know where to start. It's like such a gigantic pile. I'm going to start with this with a couple ornaments. So this one was an ornament last year. This was an exclusive, and this is Brenda Gervais' design, and it was a exclusive for the Midwest Cross Stitchers retreat last year. And it's just this cute little shallow ornament, and it's filled with beads And sorry about the reflection there. Let me turn this light off real quick. Okay, it's a little overcast today, but I think it's actually kind of a good day for filming. So let me see if I can get a little bit better. Sorry about that glare. Just kind of bites, doesn't it? But it's so cute. Very festive. I finished it with her very simple, easy to follow instructions. And it's just scrapbook paper. I think I inked it and antiqued it a little bit. Oh, maybe not on this one. And I think this is just some Tim Holtz paper from a couple years ago. My finishing wasn't the cleanest with the glue, so I added this little detail. I got this trim off of an Etsy site. I actually saw some really cute kind of greenery trims at Hobby Lobby not too long ago. So if you're looking for some, give them a check. Then the next one, this is also with I Needle and Thread, Brenda Gervais. It's part of the Hoopla series. Cute little snowman. It was a kit that I got from Brenda at the retreat last year as well. And it came with an unfinished hoop, and I just used some Tim Holtz alcohol inks, and they come in a bazillion different colors, so you wouldn't even have to do it wood color. You could do it whatever color you wanted. But I just finished it with a little bit of that, and then again I just finished it with some scrapbook paper, and this one I did ink. If you had a punch, I just cut them out by hand, but if you had a punch, you could probably do it with a punch. But so cute and quick little finishes. Then I have, I think this is a Little House Needleworks. I don't typically do a lot of cross-stitched ornaments, so there's no hanger or anything on it. And I just finished it with these little rusty bells, and I usually just put it in a basket or something. And it's stitched on a 32 count and with 2 threads over 2. And probably everything's gonna have like some dog hair. I have 4 large dogs. My smallest dog is 50 pounds. And then we have 2 crazy kitties that are barn cat fails. They're supposed to be outside, but they're lovers, so we have them inside. So I have no idea what year I did this. And it feels like it's filled with wool. I used to raise Angora rabbits, so a lot of these are filled with wool. I also have a livestock guardian dog who is in the house for the winter, and he will go back out in the spring, but he's fine in the house, but he does need some supervision. He doesn't always understand like the difference between a dog stuffy and a cross-stitch stuffy. So he can be a little destructive if he's not supervised. So I try and I'm not really putting any of these out because of that. I also have a 1-year-old puppy, my English setter puppy, Henry. So I'm trying to keep close tabs on everything. This is another with a needle and thread. I do not remember what it's called. It is not called Frosty, if I remember. And I stitched it on this pretty blue fabric. I love winter blues, which you're gonna see a lot of in my Christmas smalls. I just think they're so pretty, the way that the red pops off of them and the way the white looks on them. And it's just such a pretty winter color, and they go great into January because I tend to really like cool colors anyways. So cute. I love this. Okay, and then next, I'm going to show you a little, I'm just going to mix it up. So this was a recent gift. I think I've already showed it to you as well if you watched the retreat recap. So this was a gift from Teresa Koget. She punched it herself. I love it so much. It's so amazing. So it's definitely worthy to show again. Look at the details in the face. She's so crazy talented. So pretty. And it's like a little purse. I have it hanging in my entryway off of a hook. It's so cute. Super cute. Love that. Now sitting right in front of me. So I have taken a turn trying to figure out the whole punch needle thing, because I have definitely struggled with it. And at the retreat, Teresa Koget was so nice and helped me figure out what I was doing wrong, and I did it. I can't believe I finished this. This is a with I needle and thread as well. You can see I didn't do the best job with some of my colors, and there's a lot of pooling here, and these are Valdani flosses, so there is a trick to kind of using them. But this guy is so cute, and this pattern, I believe, I know Stitchville in Mankato, not Mankato, Minnetonka, Minnesota, has some of Brenda's punch needle designs. I'm not sure where else you can find them, but I do know that you can find them on her website, which is countrystitchesonline.com. And if you go into, people always have trouble finding them, but if you just go into the search engine and type Brenda Gervais in there, the majority of her patterns will pop up, and her punch needle, a lot of that is going to be like towards the middle and the end. They are absolutely adorable. My next, this is a Stacy Nash. It's called December 25th. I did this one several years ago. I just pulled my own threads for this one. It's very adorable. And I have it backed in my favorite primitive red. You're going to see a lot of this red. And then next I have, this is a Scarlet House. This was a Dying to Stitch club kit, and it came with a different backing. I used my favorite Christmas red here. And this is, I believe that this is a fabric by Jeannie Horton from Country Sampler. She's also a fabric designer, and of course she has a lot of quilts, quilting fabric in her shop. She's got a lot of home decor. She's got a lot of beautiful things, but she does design her own line of fabric, which is really beautiful and in a primitive style, and it's just pretty. So I think this may have originally come with a wool, and there was also a pom-pom trim. I tend to be very plain Jane, so I just kind of left it. But this is so cute. I love, love, love this. It's just like quintessential Christmas. Looks like little shiny bright ornaments. It's so pretty. So a few years ago, I made some primitive candy canes, and they were super fun. They used to smell of cinnamon and cloves and things. They don't so much anymore, but I could definitely touch them up. But they were super cute. I just put them in a little bowl. I recently finished this cute Santa hat just for fun. I put the most gigantic pom-pom on it. Oops. This wasn't a pattern. I just cast on 64 stitches, did a little rib, and I used a super chunky yarn, and it took me a day to do it. I think it took me a couple hours because it was such a chunky yarn. So I just did this rib in 2x2, and then I just did a hat till as long as I wanted it, and then I just started decreasing. I think I did like every couple rounds, and then I put this pom-pom is so freaking heavy, but it's so cute. Don't you love it? The goats go crazy for it. But it was just fun. It actually gets really hot, and it hasn't been warm enough here to really even use it yet. I want to go to some different stuff. So this is, these are some little woolly trees. I got these kits at the Woolen Needle, and I put them together. I do like them. I want to do a big, tall, skinny tree, and I think I'll be doing a tutorial of that on my Patreon. It's a little time consuming because I have to make a couple of them. One, I have to figure out how to do it, and then make a couple of them so I get the hang of it before doing a tutorial. But I definitely love these. But if you want a kit like this, you can get them at the Woolen Needle in, I believe Williamsburg, Iowa is where they are. I bought these stands there as well, and they don't have these anymore, which is actually fine, because you can see they're very kind of loosey-goosey in there, if you're moving them around, for sure. So it kind of drives me crazy. It doesn't stay still. It's kind of always lopsided. I'm always having to try and fix them. But what I did find that works really well is a little flower frog. So I just put this one in a flower frog, and it works fantastic. And you can see this one has a little gold thread. I hope you can see that. I don't know, can you? I can't see it. But it has a little gold thread, a little sparkle through the leaves in this one. It's really cute. And it stands in there like pretty sturdy. So just a suggestion, if you can't find those holders. This one is a little wall hanging. It is a, what is it? Little House. It's a Little House needlework. I think it's called Winter Sampler. And this is a 4-part series. There's one for every season. I'm not going to do all the seasons. I'm just doing this one because that little red house is so cute. Then I just made it into a little wall hanging. I mean, obviously you're going to recognize that fabric. I just backed this in muslin and plain old muslin. And this little really inexpensive hanger, I think it was like $8. I got it at Buttermilk Basin just to hang it on. It comes off really easily, so it packs away nicely. The next thing I have actually isn't it's not any needlework, but it's just a suggestion. This is one of my favorite pieces of artwork for winter that I keep in my house. I keep it at my desk. I love it so much. And it's actually a painting that I got from like a secondhand store, and I think I paid $10 or $11 for it, and it came in this frame. No, did this come in this frame? I don't know. I have another picture of, it's more spring and it's a covered bridge and there's lots of trees in bloom, like crabapple trees. And it's the same size, so I swap it out with this. But it was super inexpensive and it was painted, it's dated here in 1954. And the detail on it is amazing. It's so cute. And so it's a way to, I switch out all of my my wall artwork seasonally, and I know Kay, you told me that you do that too, and this is a really inexpensive way to do it. And then there's a couple hangers and I pop a nail in here, and then I just pull out the nail, pop in another picture, and then I've got more artwork for every season. The other thing I do this with is I think I've mentioned it before, I have a good collection of paint by numbers, like vintage paint by numbers from like the 50s and 60s that are super cool and done in oil paints instead of the acrylics, and they're really cool. And I do the same thing with those frames. The other thing that you can do, if you find one in an ugly frame, you just paint the frame. I do that a lot too, if you just paint it black. But this one is really nice with this linen mat. So I just wanted to show that to you. I have another one here. Let's see. Oh, here it is. I'm looking for a frame for this one. I may even order one. I love this so much. So this one I got at Goodwill. I think I paid $6 for it or something like that. It was super inexpensive. And then this one is painted. So it was painted by someone in Minnesota, and she's from Duluth. She called it Minnesota. That was what the very original, that's what she named her painting. And she says to coral, and it was painted by Lenora Curry, if anyone knows her. So thanks, Lenora. I love your painting. Look at these little, yeah, it's like the Great North Woods. So pretty. I love it. And then here's her signature here. Okay, and then, so next I think I forgot to show this in my last video. So this is actually a Prairie Schooler Santa. I've seen other people that have done them on these gigantic. This is like a Clostern fabric. Clostern or a Tula. It's either a 10 or a 7 count, just ridiculously large, done with, I think 4 strands or 6 strands, maybe a whole 6 strands of DMC. And they're made to look like burlap. I've seen a lot of people with pillows. And my daughter stitched this one 20 years ago when she was little, when we were homeschooling. This was like part of her art project. And I bought these hangers are fantastic. They're from Homestead Needleworks. It's April. She is April. You can find her on Instagram, April in Alabama. And I have several of these, and I have them in different colors. The black is a really good neutral too, just to hang these little wall hangings and be able to switch them out quick. They're really nicely made, painted in the back, have the screw here, and then she puts this little sawtooth hanger on them, so they're really easy to hang. And then this knob just screws and unscrews, and it's so cute. Really love it. And I have, like I said, I have several of them, and I really like them. Okay, the pile is dwindling a little bit. Let's go over this way. So this is a buttermilk basin. This is filled with Angora wool, this is filled with cotton. This feels like it's filled with cotton. This is, like I said, it's a buttermilk basin. I pretty much buy everything as a kit from her. It's just so much easier, and with all the different wools that she uses. It's not the most economical, but more economical than having to try and buy all these different fabrics. But this is so cute, and it's just a blanket stitch. It's so easy if you've never tried it, and it's just adorable. And then it's backed. I had this fabric in my stash that has all the colors from the front, and it's just adorable. I love this so much. Super cute. Just fun. And they're very fast. That's what I like about doing them, is that they're very fast. And you can usually get them done in a day. So I've also, I think I mentioned, I've been doing a lot of knitting. So I have a pair of socks for Madeline that she's going to get for Christmas. I need to find my sock blockers. I think they're actually in a cabinet behind me here, but she picked out this fabric, and I had picked out this yarn and from Steve & B's in Minneapolis, and I had one of them knit for 3 years before I finally got around to finishing this second one. And it is just, it's a simple, it's like the Skip or Skype sock. I think it's SKYPE. So it's just got a little pattern detail in there, and then it's done on a rib. It's got this little rib pattern in it. You purl a couple, so it's nice and stretchy. The only thing that I noticed is that when this is the first one that I stitched, and you can see I did a twisted rib cuff here, which I obviously neglected to do with this one. So it kind of is glaring to me. It does feel a little bit differently because this is really stretchy. Almost feels like it has elastic in it, but other than that, they turned out beautiful, and I really enjoyed knitting that. I'm a super tight knitter, so they're really dense. This was actually a really thin fingering weight yarn, almost bordering on lace weight, and it's really dense, and they're going to be very cozy and comfortable. I think she really likes hand knit socks. So the other pair that I'm knitting here is for Gary. Originally they were supposed to be for me, and then he saw them and really liked them, and I told them that I would make them for him if he wanted them. And they're kind of a neutral colorway, so they're pretty. This is a Christmas colorway, but they're so pretty. So and that's fine that they go to him. So I didn't want to pull out the whole cuff, so I just did a real simple 2x2 rib. But when I was knitting, I had a pattern in mind for these, but when I was knitting, because this is kind of self-striping, but when I knit them with the pattern, the way that the colors fell, it actually didn't create this pattern. It actually was, all the color was on one side and the other side was all the lights. And so it was like a two-tone sock. It was so bizarre. So I was like, what the heck? I thought I'm either going to have to go down like a size needle to get that to remedy itself. I wasn't sure what to do with it. So I just did a simple vanilla sock, which is boring, but it worked, so that I actually got some striping. And this yarn is by Holly Press Fibers. It's really a pretty yarn, beautiful colors, and the colorway is really pretty. See all those kind of pinky reds, and it's so pretty. And then it also, you had the option to buy 2 mini skeins, or 1 mini skein, or no mini skein. So I got the 2 mini skeins. So I got this cranberry color, which is the cuffs, and then I'm going to do the toes and the heel in this green color, but really pretty. That should just take a couple days to do. Gary doesn't have a big shoe size, so I should be able to get them done fairly quick. And then I finally broke down and got me some DPN holders, and they have been lifesavers. And then next I have a cute little pin cushion. So my daughters and I took a class, so at Buttermilk Basin, Stacy used to do these little workshops on Saturday mornings that you could sign up for a class, and it was like 2 hours. You paid $10, and it was like a make and take. They were super fun. She outgrew her shop space, and recently moved, so she hasn't done them in quite a while, but I'm hoping that she brings them back because they're a lot of fun. And this is, I think, one that Madeline made a couple years ago while we were there. Both my daughters went with me. It was fun. So we each got a little cute pincushion. So then next is my most recent finish that I just got back from the framer. So I have everything framed at my local Michael's frame shop. Actually, not my local. I drive a little farther to go to one that is in Eagan, Minnesota, if you're in Eagan. And Joanna is the manager there, and she also has 20 years framing experience and does a great job with pinning needlework. So if you're looking, and they have a lot of frame choices. The other nice thing is that you get your framing stuff back no matter what time of year. Like I just got this back like a week or two ago, and it's still 2 weeks. 2 weeks is their turnaround for getting framing back. It's quick, and they do a really nice job. So this is a Scarlet House. I believe the pattern was called Sleigh Rides and Snowflakes. And it was a stitch along that I started in the Midwest Cross Stitchers face group a couple years ago, and never even, I don't know that I even started it, but I got it finished and I love it. It's definitely, it's one of my favorite holiday pieces now. It was a very quick stitch. There's not much to it. There's not a lot of threads to it, and you don't have to look at the pattern a lot. All the snowflakes are also the same, so even if you hate stitching snowflakes, they're pretty easy because you can memorize the pattern. But it's just beautiful. And then I just use this kind of rustic frame, but I love that. So happy to have that done. So cute. And then next is my Scenic Farm, which caused quite a stir. So much so that Dimensions started reprinting the kits again, which is awesome. So I did this one 3 or 4 years ago. I actually it took me 5 years to stitch it because I used to take it to the state fair with me, and it smelled hideous. And I was so glad I was able to get the smell and all the staining out from sitting in a barn stitching this for so many years. But the detail on this is really fantastic. There's a lot of blended threads and stuff in here, but it's a fairly easy stitch. This is stitched on Ada, which came with the kit, and it is one of my absolute all-time favorite pieces. I love it. Then all of my kids have stockings that I stitched for them. So this is Joshua's, and these are all Shepherd's Bush. I have one for my grandson is 2 that's completely stitched. I just need to finish it into a stocking, and then I need to finish my granddaughter's. But these are so cute. So I did them all when they were born, and I did them, they're all they're called for, but a lot of them call for like pearl cottons and things like that, and I just stitch them in the equivalent DMC with either 4 or 6 strands. And then I get the charm packs, and we use these. So a lot of them are missing charms, and but they are well loved, and they have been used every year that my kids were little, and still as adults my kids still use them. So this is Allie's, and she's 28 and has used hers. I did hers the first year that she was born. So this one has been through a lot of Christmases, and it's been stuffed a lot. And then Madeline's. And I just finished these with, I didn't want them to be dated, which they're a little dated anyways, but I didn't want them to be super dated, so I used solid color coordinating fabrics because I knew patterns would come in and out of style. But this is so cute. Her little halo is really loose, and she's missing some beads. And there's one about ready to fall off here that I should probably fix. But those, I love those. I love pulling those out every year. Next I have, so this is another Scarlet House. This is, I think, Jingle All the Way. It's in all the called for colors. A lot of people ask what the fabric is. I don't remember what the name of the fabric is, but it's whatever the called for is. And then the trim, it's just like some Christmas wired trim. And it's just lightly stitched on, so if I get sick of it, I can take it off. And then I just have it backed in this basic gray fabric that I was trying to use up, but color went really well with this, so I love this. I have some more smalls. So this one, I keep in this little, I had this sitting on my desk in this little stand. And this is a Prairie Schooler. I think it's the month of January. So they all have like the big sampler and then a pin cushion and a smaller little pictorial that you can do within the chart, and they have them for every month. I think this, I'm pretty sure this is from January. And then this cute little thing. I have a thing with kids and sleds. So I also have, this is a Foxwood Crossing, and this is the called for. I got this little sled at Stitchville, and it's just stitched on perforated paper with 2 strands of thread over 2. It's on a 14 count perforated paper, and it's just adorable. It's so cute. So I have this sitting on my desk, and it's just in a little tray here, and I usually put some berries or something, but I knew I'd dump them all over. And then I have this little skiing Hummel that I picked up at some antique store for like $8. But I usually put them in this little tray with some berries, and he just sits on my desk. Really adorable. And then I have another pair of socks that I'm also working on. These are a pair for me, and I'm doing this one just one sock at a time. But this is a Desert Vista Dye Works, and the colorway is no longer available, but it's from a color line. It's the Zombie color line. So this colorway is called Zombody. It's cold outside. Really pretty wintry colors. They do still carry the Zombody line if you look them up. Just not this really pretty blue colorway, but they have some really pretty different colorways on their website if you check them out. And I don't know if they're just out of stock of this or if they don't make them anymore. You can always try emailing them. I know it was a really good selling line for them. And I'm just doing, because it's self-striping, I'm just doing a vanilla sock. But they're so cute. And I'm doing them kind of short because I'm hoping to get a second pair of shorties out of them. But the colors are just amazing. Aren't those pretty? And then my second pair, I'll probably do like a contrasting cuff, heel, and toe to make that yarn stretch a little farther. I just have to find the right color to go with that. So I've been really enjoying getting back to my knitting. So another framed piece. I did this one a couple years ago. This is, believe it's Farmhouse Christmas by Little House Needleworks, and it's 9 different charts that were stitched all together, and there is a separate chart for the border that's free on her website. Is where I found it. I think, does she have a blog? I'm not sure if she's got a blog or not, but it was so cute. I stitched mine on just a natural linen because I think at the time the called for linen wasn't available, so I just used a natural linen, and I'm pretty sure I stitched it on a 28 count, and I used all the called for threads. And let's see, I used all the called for threads, and it stitched 2 over 2, in case you're wondering. It was really fun. It's pretty quick. They're just small little blocks, and there's large blocks. It's not difficult stitching at all. It's kind of nice brainless stitching, but it sure is adorable. The next one is, I believe this one is Country Cottage Needleworks. I think in my previous video, I think I may have said Little House, but I think it's Country Cottage. And this is Santa's Village. And I only stitched 4. I think it was a series. I think there were 12 total. And I only stitched 4 because it's stitched on a witch-oat fabric, and it was just not enjoyable. That fabric is just so stiff. And I also, I had seen a number of people stitching it on a blue fabric, which was really pretty. So I bought the blue fabric for it. I haven't started it. I don't know how realistic it is that I would ever stitch it again, but very cute. And it does have like the buttons, and then I just framed it myself. I found this frame on sale at Joann's, and I thought it'd be cute. And it already had like the spacers and stuff in there, so it worked really well. Then next I have a wool applique. This is another buttermilk basin, and this is a 3-part series. This set of tree tins are no longer available that I know of. I know there was a problem sourcing them from the distributor. In case you look on Buttermilk Basin and you find some tin trees, there are 2 different styles and they are different. You would want to call them and just verify before buying them that you're buying the right ones if you find them. So this is a 3-part series. This is the smallest one, and this is the little reindeer. Then the middle one, I'll post a picture here, is Bell's Nickel Santa. He's so cute. And then the largest one is a church in the snow, which is really pretty as well. I have all 3 of the kits. I just haven't gotten around to getting them done with. But this was really fun and pretty quick. I think I started this last year at Vlogmas, but it was a lot of fun. Then next, so these are some of my recent finishes. I just finished these, I think the day before yesterday. This is Peppermint and Holly by Brenda Gervais, and I decided I wanted to pop it into this frame, and it fit perfectly. So I stitched this on a 36 count gunmetal, I believe is the fabric that I use. The called for fabric is Twilight. They're both Weeks Dye Works, and it fit just perfectly in this frame. And I love the colors. The directions said to stitch it with 2 strands. I only used 1, and I still got pretty good coverage there. And I just think it is ridiculously sweet. So I really enjoyed that one. I've had this on my wish list for a long time. And then this is just a stock frame from Hobby Lobby. They're kind of picked over, so I was kind of limited on what I had to choose from, but I think this one goes really nicely with the kind of wood tone to the deer. Really pretty. Then the next one is Stacy Nash Deck the Halls, which I think I couldn't remember what this pattern was last time. I still need to find the bow to put on her dress. And I did frame these without glass. And this is just another stock 5x7. And you can see, I mean, there is kind of a gap here, but it's still really cute. You could, if that bothered you, you could fill it in with some snowflakes. But it's really cute. I love that one. And then this is, it shows up, it does kind of have metallic-y, but it's actually wood tone. It's got a metallic finish over it. So it's not quite as metallic-y as it looks. But it's pretty perfect for this. Really cute. And I'm really glad to finally have those done. Those were some favorites. Okay. Last bin of smalls. So I started I don't even remember what these are called, but they were released a few years ago at Market, I believe. And they are 6 little winter Christmas themed strawberries. And I got the first one done, and the second one, I was stitching that just as I was transitioning into stitching in hand, and it was a white swan, and my stitches were so hideous that it just kind of blew it for me. I need to, and I have this thing where I have to stitch them all in order, and that was the second one. So I really have to pull out all those threads and start it over. But so I have the first one done, and it's so cute. Who doesn't love a house? I love a big white house as much as I love a red house. And look at that little deer. He's so cute. And a big fat cardinal. And then I just followed the really easy instructions and gathered up my top. Put this little lace trim on. It's all available at Hobby Lobby. They even give you the SKU numbers. And same thing with, this is just some seam binding ribbon. And it's so cute. So I would really like to have a bowl of 6 of those. I think that would be adorable. And then next, this is a Scarlet House. This was also a clubbed kit, and it's filled with crushed walnut shells, so it's a little bit slouchy, but it's really cute. I used, again, I must have been in a basic gray kind of mood when I finished all these. So I used a basic gray fabric, and I don't remember if there was some pom-pom trim, some kind of trim with this. And I really, really liked the green in here and wanted to pull out more of those greens. So I just used a big rickrack, a jumbo rickrack. And then you can see I just tacked it every loop here. I just tacked it down there. And that just frames it. And it looks so cute. I love this. Look at that house. A brick house is so adorable. And all the little animals. Really like that one. Then next, this is a With Thy Needle and Thread. And I don't remember what the called for linen is, but I just wanted that white to really pop, so I chose a really dark color. And it's so cute. And then my backing fabric. If you're following along on the Patreon, I'm doing a junk journal tutorial as well. And this is the fabric I'm using for the inside of my journal. So it's actually like real quilting fabric, but it's so cute. Then I have this Stacy Nash pillow, and I think pretty sure this is Merry Christmas is what the pattern is called. And there are instructions in there, which I really need to do to antique this. I'm going to leave this out. I said that last time I did this video. I'm going to leave it out and I'm going to do it tonight. And I am definitely going to do it tonight. So I'm going to set that out. So be watching for that one later. But that's so cute. And then I have my favorite Christmas red on the back. It gets really blown out. It's actually not a bright red. It's actually kind of a dark red. And there is a little like modeling in it. It makes it look kind of like an old worn red. So cute. Then next, I did stitch these many, many years ago. These are the Cricut collection. I used to be just obsessed with Cricut collection. I've stitched so much of it. It's on a 32 count linen with 2 threads over 2. And it's just stitched in DMC. And I don't even remember what book this was in, but the cover of the book had a big tree on it with a bunch of little animals in it, I think. I love this. I would totally still stitch that. So cute. And then I just backed those with some more basic gray fabric and more. I was definitely in a rickrack kind of mood too. But I think those are pretty. And those usually go into a little bowl in one of our guest bedrooms. And then the last one in this bin, I have, this is a primitive hair. And this was a free pattern. I think it's sold individually now, but this was a free pattern that was in Cross Stitch or Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazines, and like one of the early ones. I don't even think that issue is available with the digital subscription anymore. It's that old. I want to say like 2016. But it's so cute. It's just done in DMC. And I just coffee dyed this fabric myself, and then I backed it in this brown. So it's not really Christmassy, but I don't know. I probably think of it like Christmas because it's a big woolly sheep like this guy. I am really careful about where I put this one because this is filled with Angora wool. And the dogs are very interested in it. You don't wash Angora wool before you use it like you do with sheep's wool. So it definitely has a rabbit smell to it. So with a bunch of bird dogs, they find it very interesting to sniff at. So that it doesn't go missing, I usually put this one up pretty high. Okay, I'm almost to the end of the finishes. So here's a couple of my favorites. So this is Plum Street Samplers. I think it's called Farmstead Christmas. It's either Farmhouse or Farmstead Christmas. And this was a conversion done by Country Sampler. I actually used the DMC to stitch it in because my fabric was really modeled. But it's their conversion. It's murky fabric, so cute. And if you want their floss conversion, you can just give them a call. And it's, this is a really dark piece of murky. And I stitched mine on a 32 count, and I used 2 strands over 2, just the DMC. It's so cute. And then I backed it. I'm like 90% positive that this is a Jeannie Horton fabric as well. From one of her lines. I doubt it's available anymore, but it's pretty, and it's the same one that they had backed with in the shop. So pretty. Love that. That's one of my favorites. And then you may remember the sale I did a few years ago, the Horse Country Holiday Sale. So this was also a Country Sampler conversion. I did not use, I think they used a Weeks Dye Works Confederate gray linen, and I used brash, a 32 count brash out of my stash. So that's what this is. It's a picture of this plus. And, but I used their thread conversion. So if you're interested in that, definitely give them a call. And then of course I used my favorite red, and I also got this velvet ribbon at Country Sampler, and I just sewed that on there and then stitched the back of my pillow on, left a little opening. I stuffed these are both stuffed in cotton, which gives a really nice dense stuffing, and Country Sampler sells that as well. They sell them in like big bags. I'm not sure how many ounces, and I think they are about somewhere around $10 a bag. So they're not crazy expensive, but I really like the density that they provide. Yeah, I really like how it feels very primitive. It's just hard. It's hard to explain. It's really dense, but it's fun. If you just want to give it a try, it's definitely worth it. So order this kit from them, and then order a bag of the cotton batting as well, and you will not regret it. Okay, we are getting down there. Okay, so this is, oh, 2 more goodies. This is a Scarlet house. Now, I don't typically do this. This is very much a stretch for me, but it was just so cute. I just got this at Joann's. I didn't even paint it or anything. It came with some saying here and these stripes. I just glued the pick on and mounted my piece on some foam core. I'm pin and use stitchery tape to do that. And then I stitched on the Culfer fabric, but I think that if I remember correctly, I think you were supposed to use 1 strand over 1, but I wanted it much bigger. And so I stitched it 2 over 2 in silks. It was ridiculous because it cost me a fortune in, I think that was Schoolhouse Red, and it was like a Gloriana, and I used, I think, 2 or 3 strands. It was so crazy, but it's so pretty. It feels really nice because it's silk, but you could easily do this in some other threads, but it's really pretty. And it's a 28 count. It's a Weeks Dye Works linen. I think it's khaki, but so cute. Okay, and then last one is that the last thing I have? Oh, no, and then I have some whips to show you. So this is, hello, Brenda Gervais with Thy Needle and Thread Winter Rose Manor. I'm seeing this everywhere right now. So I stitched this last year. Brenda made this available to my retreat goers, which I certainly appreciated. And I stitched mine on, it was an R&R Winter's Brew. And so I definitely could have gone darker to make that house pop up. And I did do, you can see a little strand of the conch, which is the house color, just to kind of define it from the background. It is still one of my favorite pieces. I love it on the lighter fabric because of the border, but it's beautiful. It's so beautiful. So I know R&R, the ladies of Dying to Stitch are the makers of R&R fabric. So if you're looking for that Brenda's Brew, you can give them a call and they can hook you up. I imagine that there's been a huge demand for it, and it's probably something that they're either taking orders for or something, but or maybe they have it. I know that they're 40 count, and when I call them, usually I prefer 36 count, and they usually have 36. 40 count is usually harder to find. So, but this is just so pretty. I love it. And again, I had it framed at Michael's, and I love it. And I just had this little filament put in there. It's so pretty. One of my all-time favorites. I really enjoyed stitching that. Okay, so that was, I think that's it for my finishes. And I do have, I was hoping to get this a little shorter, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Let me just show you. Let me pull out my basket. I gotta put some of this away. Okay, it's gotten fairly dark and overcast here, but I think the lighting is still okay. I have a lot of backlighting, and I'm sitting next to a window here, so. I have a whip basket here. I'm going to show you my winter whips. And these are just a few of my favorite things that are always calling to me, but I can't seem to get them done for some reason. I did want to show you, oh, where'd it go? I do have in my little basket a shawl that I'm working on. And this is designed by Christy at Yarn Cafe Creations. And this is a pattern that uses mini skeins. So if you have a mini skein advent, this is a great pattern for that. Okay, I'm in the middle of binding off, so I lost a stitch here. Let me just fix that. Okay. Let me just pull that through. So here is the shawl. It's really pretty. Like I said, my needles are still in there, but I'm just working on binding it off. I have a really tight gauge. I did not do a gauge swatch for this, and it is smaller than what the pattern says. And you can see it kind of scallops from these eyelet rows, but that should block out. And this is knitted using one strand of yarn and one strand of mohair. And I'm using, this is a Rowan, stuck in my basket there. This is a Rowan Kid Silk Haze. So it is 30% silk and 70% mohair. And it's very luxurious and very nice and soft. And this is the end of my mini skein that I'm using now. It called for 6. I didn't even start my 6th one, so that's how tight I knit. Hers was very kind of open and flowy. I just had the black and white, but it's called Scatter. And it's very simple. It's all knit, so it's really mindless, nice knitting that you don't have to think about it. It's good TV watching. The colors are beautiful. So my mini skeins came from, if you watched my Vlogmas last year, these are my mini skeins from Honeybee Knits and Molly at Homespun House. Those were the 2 advents I got last year. And they're just really pretty. I don't know why my Alexa is turning on right now, but hopefully she'll stay quiet. It almost is a fade. These 2 colors are so close, but these yarns are beautiful. And it's just really soft. It's just something for me to wear probably just like around the house when it's really cold out, because I am a freeze baby. That is, and then I also just recently got, I think she's backed up. It did take a while, so if you're going to order from her, she was a little bit longer than what the listing on her Etsy said. She also has a website. I can't remember if I ordered these, which, but these are Yarn Cafe Creations. These are some of her Christmas colorways. They're so pretty. So Ribbon Candy, Gumdrop Nougat, Cherry Cuddler, and this is Prickly Pear. And I think that this one for sure I know is just one of her regular colorways. These 2 are definitely Christmas colorways. And then I got them all in worsted weight because I have so much fingering weight. I wanted something a little bit different. And I feel like I'm always finding patterns for worsted weights, and then I never had worsted weight yarn, but these are beautiful. Her yarn is very pretty. And I actually have her advent this year that she's doing with her daughter from Dragon Horde Yarns, and it's very pretty. Okay, so let's set that aside and let's go on to the whips. So the first one is wool applique. I always keep my wool applique projects in these vinyl project bags. I got these from Buttermilk Basin. They were a set of 4 in graduating sizes. They all fit inside each other, but they're super handy. Then I can put them in my whip baskets and I can tell the difference between my cross stitch whips and my wool applique. So this is a pattern that obviously Ivan got a hold of. And this is a pattern from the Woolen Needle. It's one of their original designs. It's super cute. And I've been working on this one for a while, and I just need to do, I have it all appliqued on, or I have it all fused on. I just need to do the stitching. And the nice thing about wool applique is that it's very quick. It's not like cross stitch where, I mean, if I really sat down, I could get this done this weekend for sure. It's just adorable. Very cute. The next one I have is a buttermilk basin, and it is December block from the Vintage Truck of the Year. Now she's got two different truck series, and this is the large one, and it fits in that metal tray. I bought that metal tray, which is why I have so many of these kits. It's so cute. So this is the December one. And then I bought the kit, and it comes with everything and the pattern. And so here is my progress on it. It's almost done. Really super duper cute. I just have a few things to do, like finish the silo and this down here, and I think the present, and then it's pretty much done. Everything else is stitched on it. It's so cute. A lot of fun to do. And then I just need to do the buttonhole stitch around the outside, and then here is my backing fabric. It's this really cute little kind of herringbone. So that's what's in that bag. Super fun. And these would make just cute like little candle mats on an end table. So this is my most recent start. And this is Parson Brown by Not Forgotten Farm. It is ridiculously cute. So I originally saw this. I'm going to give a shout out to one of my, I'm relatively new subscriber to her. I really, really enjoy her channel, so you can go check her out. I've been binge watching her for the past week. Is Ohio Stitcher. I'm going to link her below. Stitching in Ohio. Shanda Stitching in Ohio. She is a beautiful quilter, and her stitching ain't too bad either. She's, so I saw this. She has stitched it, and it was just so sweet. She's very inspiring with all of her many talents. And she also does some rug hooking, and does she do punch needle as well? I don't know. She's just very inspiring. So you should definitely go give her a look-see. But, and then you can see her finish of this as well. It's very cute. So that is, and that's on one of my favorite Christmas blues. Then I also have Merry Old Soul. This is a with I needle and thread. And I got this as a kit at the retreat last fall. And I didn't know that it was kitted with a 46 count. So it's been challenging, but I'm glad I did it. It's so cute. He's just adorable. The stitches are so teeny, teeny, tiny. Oh, how about these cuties? So I should show you these real quick. These are my bags from Christy at Crosshatch Quilts. She also has an Instagram page where she sometimes posts her bags. Cross Stitch Quilts D-Stash, I believe, is the name of her Instagram. If she doesn't have anything posted, then she doesn't have anything for sale, but you can always try and message her. But I was lucky enough to snag some bags. Thank you, Christy. I love them. So I have this one, and I have this cutie patootie. This is the backing. And I have this one. I really love this one. I love the back of that. So cute. And then I think I have one more in here. And I think this is a fabric by Two Charming Chicks. So cute. I did quilts in their Swell Christmas and, oh, I can't remember, for my grandkids last year. Adorable. Oh, and then I suppose I should show you what's in them. This is a free stitch along by With Thy Needle and Thread. So you can find this chart and just print it out on her website or her Instagram. So you can search either by Brenda Gervais or by With Thy Needle and Thread. I think it was a Google document that you just had to print out, but it was very generous. So thank you so much, Brenda, for sharing that with us. And this is, so I have all the stitching done. I just need to do the day for the French knots. And I did that on my pretty blue fabric that I love. And I did swap out the red and I think the green for the tree because I didn't have those called for colors and I really wanted to do them with the stitch along. I really liked the red. It's so bright and cheery. I love that. So I'm looking forward to having that done. I'm not sure. I think I might pop that in to like a 4x6 frame. I might see if it'll fit. I stitch mine on a 40 count. So it's a little bit smaller, but adorable. Caught in the zipper. This is a Kathy Barrick Heaven and Nature Sing. It's absolutely beautiful. So the called for thread is silk. There is a DMC conversion. It's not exact. And I found that the deer was, I really liked how dark the deer was. So I did swap out my deer color. I have not ironed this. I'm sorry, there's a big old fold in it. These trees have been slowing me down, and I really need to get this done. It's very cute. I think my brown is 37.71. Oh, that would definitely just take me a day or two of really dedicated stitching, and I could probably whip that out, and I should really do that. In this bag, I would show you the pattern, but or a picture of it, but Ivan decided to chew it up, and I only have my working copy. But this is Feliz Navidad by Blackbird Designs. I've been working on this one for a ridiculously long time. It also needs to be finished. It's so pretty. The colors are gorgeous. I saw Christy at Crosshatch Quilts. She is working on this as well. And I hope she doesn't finish before I do, but I'm sure she will. And it's just so pretty. I'm almost done with that alphabet, which has just been killer. And then I just have the motifs, and you can see this is the bottom here. So it's about 2/3, but it's so pretty. Very pretty. Is Pineberry Lanes, Christmas 1878. It's a little marking sampler, and it's just hem stitch. And I think that might be how I finish that as well. It's really cute. And I just have a little start on that one. And I'm stitching this on a 30 count Weeks Dye Works linen, and the color is linen. So it's just kind of this off-white, really pretty. And I'm stitching it with one thread over two, but just one thread on a 30 count. And that is the called for linen, and then it calls for red rocks. Weeks Dye Works Red Rocks is the red, and that's also what I'm using. Very pretty. Just a few more. We are almost there. This is, I've shown this before. It's terrible. It's not done. This is Barnyard Christmas by Prairie Schooler. My hang up with this one is definitely the fabric. So this is stitched on a Witchelt lamb's wool, and it's just, it could stand up by itself. It's so stiff. It's not enjoyable. So I think I'm going to probably switch it out for a, and it's 32 count, and I'm stitching it 2/2, which is the DMC. And I think what I may do is swap it out for some Zweigart Platinum or their Mocha, which I have both. I just need to pull them out of stash. But those are adorable. And I'm going to make them into little ornaments. I do have a farm themed tree that I put in my kitchen, and that is where they would go. Those are so cute. Then I have this piece, which is from the Midwest Cross Stitchers Retreat from this year, designed by Teresa Vanette of Shakespeare's Peddler. It is so cute. And I have that house done. So pretty. I love the windows on there. And this is what it'll look like. And this is, as of right now, this is an exclusive. She's going to release this next year. It's so cute. And it says, it's kind of an homage to COVID and staying home. It says, oh, there's no place like home for the holidays. So pretty. It's so cute. Very cute. I've really enjoyed stitching on that. My goal was to have this done by Christmas. I'm hoping I still can do that. Almost done. Here is another buttermilk basin project and another one of my totes. And this one is these cute 3 little pillows. So cute. I love her vintage vibe. And I have, this one is just, it's just fused to the fabric, but I haven't stitched it yet. And all of these little red pieces are all little pieces of wool that you have to applique down. The back is the second half of that pillow, and I do have that one pretty much done. I need to do the stem stitch here. And do I have those stitched down? Yes, the little berries are stitched down. I think that's pretty much all I have to do on that one is that stem stitch. Oh, and a little, just a little detail on the candle. That one is super cute. Oh, and then the ornaments. I have that one fused as well. Those, you could definitely get those done in a day, like no problem. They also come with all the backing. And I think this is the last one. And this is going to be my January project. This is Madame LaFay. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it. I was just watching Sheila from the Sunshine Stitchers. She did a whip parade. And she's actually where I saw this pattern to begin with. And she can pronounce that, but I can't. And sadly, she's not going to be working on it this year. So I guess I'll just be working on it alone. But it's really pretty. And she's doing hers on a really pretty blue fabric. And she's omitting the words up here. I am not that talented to change a pattern like that. So I'm just doing it as called for. I really liked her fabric though. But I'm just doing mine. So this is a picture of this plus oaken. And it's a 32 count. And look at the colors on there. They're just so pretty. It's a lot of wood, this window, but so I'm kind of stitching it in thirds here. The snow is a lot, and I'm down to the little teapot here. So cute. I really like the fabric. I think it looks really nice on the fabric. Okay, sorry, a little bit of commotion there. Yeah, so I'm going to be picking this up in January and giving it some love. I really enjoyed it. And I'm stitching it, did I mention it? I'm stitching it 2 strands over 2. So I think that's all I've got. Okay, so I just wanted to come on, you know, every couple months or so and say hi to you guys and wish you well. I hope you guys all have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And let's put 2020 behind us. We'll move into 2021. And I hope that I see many of you in 2021. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye.